I heard Steve Vai once say that there's only two types of people in the world, those who play guitar and those who wish they played guitar. But those people who wish they played always have the same question from the beginning: how long does it take to learn? Well, in this episode of the Guitar Blog Insider, I'm going to discuss the idea of how long does it take to become good at guitar. It's a good question, and one that a lot of people thinking about playing guitar will often ask. Well, to get started with, I just want to say up front, what I feel qualifies me to talk about this is the fact that I've played guitar for almost 40 years. I've run my music school, Creative Guitar Studio, for pretty much 25 years. And from all my years of playing guitar, from studying guitar, from teaching hundreds of students, and from lessons and practicing, I've learned that the answer to this question depends on only a few things. The first is dedication from a person, because dedication affects how long someone is going to spend practicing. And second is how fast they learn, because the simple fact of it is that some people are more talented than others at comprehending the physical and mental tasks for both coordination and musical perception, and they simply learn guitar faster. There's also the conclusions different people make about what constitutes a good guitarist. Everyone's thoughts on that are going to be different. So that one, it plays a role, but it's kind of subjective rather than being discussed. It just needs to be realized as a variable. There's an old saying, I'm sure all of you have heard this before, and it's practice makes perfect. And it's absolutely true. Practicing guitar for at least 30 minutes to an hour, 5 days every week, you're going to get up to your playing goals for sure. You're going to really get some good things going on in your playing. And it all has to do with repetition. Your hands and your fingers need to learn how to play. They need to understand melody movements, chord shapes, and how to do rhythm. And they need a lot of time reviewing these movements, no matter how much natural talent that you might have. And in the beginning, the technical stuff is the most important. Left and right hand coordination, the picking hand and the fretting hand need to achieve a very high degree of synchronization. They have to be coordinated. Without that, playing guitar is going to be sloppy, which is going to lead to a great deal of frustration, might even lead to the student quitting. And on the flip side of that, you'll also have to watch out for periods where you feel like you're plateauing, because when you hit those, they're the times when you feel really good about how you're playing. So good sometimes, in fact, that you'll end up slacking off on your practice, especially practice of the more difficult material to study, which is what constantly advances your skills. If you play easy stuff all the time, you're not going to go too far, too fast. You've got to keep pushing yourself on material that is difficult, because that's how you're going to grow as a player. So the bottom line is that you need to get good at guitar, and that involves practice. So if you don't have the practice in there, you're not going to get good at guitar. You have to be dedicated to it, and you have to have motivation to keep picking up that guitar every day. Okay, so now you know that practice is important. Now there's another level after this, and it has to do with what you're practicing. Now, as a teacher, I've always been concerned with what my students were learning, and I've always been very tuned in to what material works the best to accomplish the various levels of playing, which I've just come to generalize as introductory, intermediate, and advanced guitar. If a student is an introductory guitarist, they need a very specific approach to learning the material, and that helps them progress along and build those foundational skills up to the next level. After that, they need a new approach, and it's going to have to be one to help them branch out slightly further to become an intermediate level player. Now, advanced guitarists are a whole other group who need to spend their time on topics that stretch their skills. So it's not only a time thing and a dedication thing, it's also what you're doing while you practice, while you're spending your time rehearsing guitar. Essentially, if you're not stretching yourself, you won't progress to new levels of both playing ability and skill. You'll actually just stay pretty much about the same. Well, another important area that anyone considering this question of how long does it take to play guitar has to consider is natural ability. Now, this is a real hot button topic because I know there are a lot of people out there who will viciously debate natural talent. And you're certainly entitled to your opinion. I have my opinion. My opinion is based on having personally sat in front of over 1,400 guitar students over the last 25 years of teaching and the experience that I had while attending music school at the Guitar Institute of Technology back in 1991 and 92. As far as I can tell, there are people who pick up the guitar who can use their fingers better. They can strum better. They can memorize music faster than other people can. I've seen it hundreds and hundreds of times over the last 2 decades, but it's also an important area that we shouldn't place stress on worrying about either. Naturally talented people will have just as many problems as less talented people. And the other side of this is sometimes those less talented players will actually work much harder and actually end up being more successful guitarists. So realize that the element of natural talent, it does exist, but it's not an important factor. It's not as important as practicing your days away like crazy, as dedication, as having lots of motivation toward what you want to achieve. Those are the things that are going to ultimately build your success on playing this instrument. Well, the final area I want to discuss is a guitar player's goals and their perception of success. Having a long list of goals might not be the greatest thing early on, since gaining the level of ability it would take to achieve many of them would probably be taking you too long. But small achievements, having a short list of goals should be planned out, and keeping a practice schedule is also really important. Over time, you should also maintain a short list of songs that you want to learn as well. It's really important to learn different musical styles and songs written by different artists. And when things really get rolling along for you, be sure to maintain a healthy perception of success along the way. Try not to be thinking unrealistically about where you're at or where you want to go. Just stay even keel with everything that you're studying, keep at your practice, and keep getting new material, and that'll build your skill level higher and higher. Above all else, you want to be realistic about where you're at. And if you have a teacher, that's going to help a lot, because they're going to help keep you grounded. And plus, if you have a teacher, more than likely you'll have some type of a course that you're following, and you can gauge your progress lesson to lesson that way. If you feel like you're capable with at least 60% of what you're studying, then you're doing quite well. A good teacher, tends to help a lot with keeping you on track, and a good guitar curriculum will feed you a steady stream of skill-building information to help keep you moving along. I know that the feedback I've been getting about my Creative Guitar Studio membership side of the site, where you can study the introductory and intermediate and the advanced courses, is really generating some great feedback from people who've enrolled and who are members. And I think it's mainly because the program is very well designed, and it's in blocks and chapters, and everything follows suit in a very methodical way. I think that's really beneficial in the grand scheme of things when you're studying a curriculum. And again, going back, I think it's really important to at least have good grounding on at least 60% of the material that you're studying. Over time, you'll get better and better with all the topics, and you'll finally reach that 100% mastery level. Anyway, I would be interested to hear your thoughts on all of this in the comments section below. I want to say thanks for your time, and we'll catch up again next week on my other channel for another edition of the Guitar Blog Insider. Hello, I'm Andrew Wasson, the founder of Creative Guitar Studio. Creative Guitar is a professional guitar school that I established 25 years ago after I graduated from Hollywood, California's Musicians Institute. After building a successful local school, I decided to branch out to having online courses as well. So back in 2008, I decided to take creative guitar onto the internet and offer my guitar methods through both YouTube and on my website. Since then, I've had over 150,000 guitar players from over 100 countries take part in my online courses, and the courses have only become better with the material having grown so much since then. Creative Guitar has become one of the best ways available for guitar players to reach their playing goals. So click on the Join Now button below and sign up for your free membership. That free membership will allow you to view all the free members area videos, download certain handouts, watch samples of each course, and also purchase individual products. From there, you can take things a step further by signing up for a basic or premium membership package for as little as $14.95 a month. So click on the Join Now button and start taking advantage of everything the website has to offer.